I finally got around to watching that new Quintuplets movie the other day, and honestly, it was pretty good. I just had one minor issue. What are they doing? Now, I'm not saying this about the anime or the studio behind it or anything. I mean, this is the best looking 2-hour finale of 5 Shadow Clones I've seen all year. I just mean, well, the finale. Okay, give me some time to elaborate. In the month of May, the very first Quintuplets movie dropped some not so horrible reviews. See, it even got a 7 by the super critics on Mount who act like they're fresh out of Harvard or something. I'm a fan of the Quintuplets series, so of course I'm gonna watch the new movie, I said while readying the lighting for the perfect occasion. I clicked the movie, realized it was 2 hours and 16 minutes! 4 months passed, and now we're here, yep. Before I viewed this movie though, I needed to ensure maximum background. This led to me reverting back to stage 1 of anime watching and consuming the full 24 episode series in a span of 2 hours. And now I can, after all this time, watch the brand new quintessential Quintuplets movie. Everything but the end was a blur. Because what? The movie wasn't bad or anything, it was just... well, what? This movie is supposed to serve as the finale to the series, so sorry, but no more Nino after this. You need to find your profile pictures elsewhere. But before I get into why I have so many negative feelings toward this character all of a sudden, I should probably say this video has spoilers. Now, aside from this time skip at the end, where somebody decided to turn Nino into a country girl, Miku into the flat-aside character known to man, and Yotsuba into April O'Neil, this movie had a few other things that felt a bit off to me. Like how a new character was introduced partway through the finale and got more than 3 minutes of screen time, or maybe how this other side plot gets center stage for like 3 minutes, seemingly out of nowhere, for this movie anyway. But honestly, none of that stuff really bothered me. My biggest problem was with the confession. That's right, I had a problem with the climax, I'm such a weirdo. If you're still watching this far in, I assume you've either seen the movie or just know what happens. The main character confesses his feelings to Yotsuba. Listen, you can't even be mad if you just got spoiled. I know I gave you more than enough time to leave. But the thing with his confession is... why? I do understand some things, right? Like, she was the girl he knew years ago. She's always helping out the main character. And out of the 5 sisters, she is the most broken, and Bob the Builder couldn't pass up an opportunity like that. But his choice still had me kinda confused. I usually don't care too much about the actual confession, especially in an anime like this. I mean, you have 4 incredible options and a snake, you almost can't go wrong. I'd usually find a way to be content with whoever the main character chooses. But here, my facial structure visibly changed with his choice. Like, why Yotsuba? I might sound sour, because I am, but it's not even like I disliked her, until now. It's just that I didn't really get too much of a romantic feeling between these two. To me, she was more like an in-game assist, you know? Miku was the purebred dove, Ichigo's the snake. Itsuki's the one with the connections who looks like the casual obvious choice had she gotten more screen time. Nino should have won. Then there's this one, who has the history but doesn't act upon it much, and whose personality stems from all of her sisters. The Yotsuba enthusiast might go against this by saying, well, exactly. But the only problem with this that happens to be a huge deal breaker is the fact that that was essentially her whole character for most of the series. Call it a personal preference if you will, but characters with a strong personality, even if it's one I don't really like, have more of an impression than a black box with a sponge inside. That sounded way worse than it was supposed to. And the thing is, I'm not saying Haruba, who just so happens to be the manga's creator, can't write good characters or anything. We see well-written characters all the time, even if we wish we didn't. And that's actually part of the reason Futuro's choice kind of infuriates me. It was definitely unexpected, but not in the way that I expected, okay. Because the thing is, when we have 4 totally different types of characters, 3 of which all striving for the same goal, it's interesting to see which one achieves it and how they actually did it. You get people favoring one method more than the other, and now you've created something called a divided fanbase. Neat. But when a character with relatively little noticeable character development wins, without even looking to have the drive to do so, all the time spent on the other characters feels almost, well, useless. Before I end this video, I should probably reiterate that despite this movie's undesirable outcome in my opinion, I'm really happy this movie even exists, because it didn't have to. I understand that everyone has their own preferences, and I'm fully aware that so much of what actually happened was cut to make this finale. And I'm hoping that with the Quintuplet special coming out, we'll go more in detail with each clone side of the story, and maybe even some other characters, who knows. This series is already a really good watch. I had no trouble at all watching the whole thing again, even. But for now, I think... it'll sit on my mid list, because it should have been Nino. That is all.